Happy hump day. It's Wednesday. I'm giving you turquoise goddess. Turquoise, turquoise, turquoise. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Halfway through, guys. Halfway through. I want to do an update on a video that I have posted before. Actually, before I do that, I want to acknowledge my new subscriber. I know you've been around for a while. My apologies. I don't even have time to do like little cute thumbnails that I would get off of Google. I'm just uploading the videos, and the first thing y'all see be like this is, YouTube's a hater, and they'll put like this as my thumbnail as I'm talking. But welcome number 16, sweet 16. Okay, now I want to talk about a video I did before regarding Erica Mena and Spice from the Love and Hip Hop, I believe it's Atlanta franchise. More information has come out, and although my sentiments are still the same about when you go low, I go to hell, you talk about my kid, I don't know how I'm going to respond. I am going to talk about the new information that came up because I'm an objectivist. I don't watch the show. I used to watch the show religiously long time ago. I'm talking about maybe 10 years ago. I stopped. It was becoming too performative. I really like New York because I'm from New York. I was a big Yandy fan and Chrissy fan, Jim Jones' girlfriend. And I like the fashions, as I said before. I really love New York. New York took a long time to come back on, and then all these franchises came: Atlanta, Miami, all of LA, and it just, and Ray J started coming on. It just got oversaturated. I stopped watching. But I am aware who Erica Mena is. She's first time I seen her is when I was watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and she worked for Dash, the store, and she was an employee. And what resonated with me is she was young and beautiful, still beautiful, but young. And on the reason why she was late was because she had a hard time finding childcare. So that's how I remember her. And and her son is about 16 now. So yeah, she's been on reality TV about 15 years. Anywho, Spice did a compilation of the history of Erica Mena calling Black people monkeys. And she went all the way back to 2015. Now, there's probably more evidence of her doing that, but her research got her back to 2015 of documented proof of Erica Mena calling Black people monkeys when not triggered by her son. And I found that very interesting because the argument was Spice talked about her son. She went as low as she can go, and she called you a blue monkey. And I don't know if I said that she was making monkey noises too. That's putting, spice on this racial comment. Like, she was making the monkey noises and being very obnoxious with it. Anywho, so I didn't know this about Erica Mena. I'm not a fanatic. I don't follow her every move, every step, her social media footprint. But yes, so now my views have changed. And let me explain. My views have changed because this isn't a one-off. I think I had said before, this is not a one-off. This is a pattern of behavior. However, I'm going to say this. I did see that Erica Mena is of Spanish descent on both sides of her family, but her mother is very dark and her father is white, Hispanic. Is Latin, of Hispanic descent, dark skin, what you would call a black woman, a black person who speaks Spanish, and the father is white presenting. Erica by nature is brown. She's brown. All that tanning and stuff, she's not a pasty white. She is brown, right? And you can see that in her children. Her children with Safari, they're brown, right? So they're not light skinned like my kids. They're brown like me. So anyway, well, not my kids. One of my kids, the girl, is very, very pasty white, and the boy is brown like me, but I'm still darker than him. So Am I going to put the blinders on and say that I have not heard other black people call other black people monkeys? That's a damn lie. I was dating this guy. He looked like a fucking monkey. But, I had a history of dating fat and black and ugly. That was my type. And my mother was like, he looked like a monkey. Like, he looked like a monkey. I've seen heated arguments, dissing. If you know anything about dissing, I don't know what you call it, where you from, but in grade school, we would go back and forth with dissing. Your mama's so fat, her belt is the size of the equator. Your mama's so going back, right? With the dissing. Monkey, calling another black person a monkey, very common. Very common. And do I believe that Erica is racist? No. And I'm going to tell you why. She might be prejudiced. She might be biased. Racist, she is not, because she doesn't have the power. You have to have the power to be a racist. She's not a racist. And people keep saying, oh, it's a race. She's racist. She's racist. Is the statement racial? It would be if she was a white woman. But she is not a white woman. Do I believe she is a black woman? No. No. I believe she is a POC. She is a person of color. She is melanated. She is a minority. Is she a black woman? I don't think so. And not based on color either. There's a certain culture that comes with being a black woman. There's a certain life that comes with being a black woman. And I believe if you have the Hispanic culture in you, that is the dominant. Because there is a Hispanic culture and there is a black culture. And if you are a person of Hispanic culture, you speak Spanish, you are a part of that culture most dominantly. You are not out there celebrating Kwanzaa. You are not out there. You don't have the history of black American oppression to be calling yourself a black woman. I like the term. I love the term Afro-Latina. I do. It shows your darkness, your Afrocentric history, your African descent, all of that. But there is a separation between a black woman and an Afro-Latina, or a black man and an Afro-Latino. We're raised different. We're groomed different. The way we treat our kids are different in the black culture, black American culture, than there is in the Hispanic culture. The only reason why I am not separating Caribbean black people from black people of American descent is because there's an Africanized history and culture that we share. The only thing that a dark-skinned Hispanic person shares with a black dark-skinned person of American culture is skin color, not history, right? I hope I explained that. So I understand where Erica says that she sees herself as a black woman. As far as living in this country and her skin color and everything, she believes that. But I don't see that. But who am I to tell her what she can identify with? People are able to change gender and races like they change underwear. But I don't see her as such. I see her as a woman of color, a POC, Afro-Latina. Also, Erica has engrossed herself in black culture for 20 years. She is a part of and has history with the Terror Squad because her son's father, the first one, was a member of the Terror Squad. They are out of the Bronx. They are in black hip hop culture. They freely say the word nigga and nigga. And my coworker, who is of Ecuadorian descent, when we hanging out and chilling, the word nigga flies. And I had to talk with him like, why do you say nigga? You're not a nigga. And he said, that's where I grew up. That is the vernacular. That is the culture. And although I didn't agree with it, I understand that. He grew up in the hood, in the Bronx. And in that hood, it was black dominant. And that's how they spoke. And that is what they were. To them, the word nigga is not a racial. It's actually a term of endearment. My nigga, N-I-G-G-A. I get that. Same thing I get with the terror squad. Is that a free pass for them to say it? No. Would I like for Hispanic people not to use the word nigga? Yes, but I don't have that power. And people could say whatever they want to say. Just like if I grew up in the South, I would use redneck. I would use redneck freely. I would use howdy y'all freely, ma'am. It is the vernacular. Unfortunately, the word Nigga, nigga. Now, if you do a hard R, we're fighting. If you call me a nigger, we're fighting. Okay? Nigga is an urban colloquialism that has been adopted. Unfortunately, it's in our music. It is a cultural appropriation of the word. I don't think it has the same power that it did in Jim Crow era. To me, it's like the word bitch. That's my bitch. Hey, bitch. Hey, bitch. Woo, bitch. Same thing. That's how I see it. You don't have to agree. You would. Oh, I don't want anybody saying. You can have a lot of wants. I want $10 million. Don't mean I'm gonna get shit. And am I gonna change a whole demographic of people who grew up saying that word, who were in proximity to other black people saying that word, and who got their pass from their black friends? No, I'm not changing shit. So anyway, Erica was around, even though I believe she's from Newburgh. She, for a good part of 2 decades, have been around black people. In that world, in that culture, especially when it comes to hip hop. Hip hop is black. Yes, there are Latinos and there are whites and there's even Asians, but hip hop is black. Okay? Black cultured. Okay? She has been around long enough to know that calling somebody a monkey is a diss. Now, do I believe she said it as a racial slur? No. Because, like I said, she can't be racist. She doesn't have that power. She knows exactly what calling a black person a monkey does. She knows what it does. She knows what it is. I've heard other black people call black people monkeys. And we know the history of it. It's the same thing that we call black people niggers. I'ma fuck that nigga up. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that nigga. Negative. That's my nigga, yo. I kill for that nigga. Positive. We know the history of the word nigga. And she knows the history of the word monkey. But you also got to realize she is part of his Hispanic culture. There is a song that my husband said is a very popular, classic, memorialized song in the Latin culture called No Pega la Negra. Don't hit the black girl. That is what it. No Pega la Negra. That is a song, and they sing and they dance to it. And I told my husband, because I was learning Spanish, what? That means don't hit the black girl. Why are they singling out the black girl? And he says, negra, in their culture, yes, it literally means black girl. But it's a term of endearment. Negra, negrita, is a term of endearment. Just like gorda. Calling your wife gorda, calling your son gordo, you heard me rolling them R's? Is a term of endearment. When I heard one of his friends refer to his wife as gorda, I was mortified. And being new to Hispanic culture, I was mortified. Yo, why are you calling your wife fat? I said, yo, why are you calling your wife that? And she was like, that's okay. And I backed up and got my quick little history lesson. That is a term of endearment. Just like negra, negrita, term of endearment. Calling your kid a mono. I was mortified when I heard that. That's monkey. That's a term of endearment. Now, did Spice call her monkey as a term of endearment? No. But I'm saying there are cultural differences when it comes to these things. There is. There is colorism in every community because across the globe, being black and being dark is ghetto, low class, low caste, not what you want to be. Okay? The Asian ladies, did you guys ever see Kim's Convenience on Netflix? It was about a Korean family that owned a convenience store in Canada. The mom would wear that visor over her face when she would go out. Gloves on, long sleeve. It is summer. And she is covered up from head to toe. Why? So she wouldn't get darker. This is the old mom telling her daughter, put this on. It's sunny outside today. Put this on. And the daughter's like, I'm not putting this on. It's 100 degrees. You're going to get too dark. That is real. I have heard Caribbean parents on the playground telling their kids, let's go. You getting too dark. We're not going to sit here and act like colorism is a black thing. Colorism is a Hispanic thing. Colorism is a worldwide problem. Mexico, the indigenous people are not the sought after ones. You know who's the popular, wealthy group of people in Mexico? If you ever watch their soap operas, they look like fucking Ricky Martin. If you go to Puerto Rico, everything that has to do with Puerto Rico, I always see light people. When I was researching the going to Puerto Rico, something came up about Vieques and a parade, like an African celebration parade. Them people were dark. That is not on the brochures. I did a video about the people on the cover of the Puerto Rican Day flyer for New York City. They were all white presenting. That is who showcased. Is that a Puerto Rican thing? No. If you go to Asian countries, bleaching cream. Y'all think bleaching is a problem in Jamaica? Huh. Bleaching is a thing in the Asian countries like a motherfucker. And they don't just like light skin. Or even yellow. They want that pasty white sheet of paper. You look dead look. That is what is sought after. So I was listening to another blogger and somebody came on and he's young. He's of Hispanic descent, Brazilian and Cuban. And he talks about when he goes, people don't see color and da-da-da-da-da. And the older black women tore into him. And I'm saying to myself, he's from countries. And when he goes back to Brazil, like he said, Brazil has the most black people in any Spanish-speaking country. You can't have a divestment of race in a country where everybody looks the same. So you're not going to notice the effects of colorism when everybody is dark. You're going to notice the effects of colorism when you're in a country like Puerto Rico, and the closer you are to the ports, the darker you are. And when you go further up into the mountains, away from the water, you're lighter. And that is because of trading. It's called Puerto Rico because it's called the rich port. That's where you did the trading. That's where you made the money. You came over, Europeans came over and had their way and breeded with the locals, lightening up the skin tones. Right? And then those people took the money because they were lighter, took the money and moved away from the ports because that's grunt work. And the darker people then come down and they do the grunt work. So they're dark, right? They came for the money. But the breeding is the Taino Indian and stuff like that on the island. Same thing in the Dominican Republic. The indigenous people there were darker. You're breeding with the European. You're breeding with the slaves from Africa. You're breeding with the Europeans. You get that look, right? You get that Erica Mena look, from the breeding, right? All the mixing and everything. But anywho, I don't think Erica was being racist because she doesn't have the power. Like I said before, I fully believe she knew what calling a black, dark skinned person monkey. She's not gonna call me a monkey, not because I'm some big bad badass. I'm not the traditional monkey features. Spice is. Spice has traditional monkey features. She's dark, broad nose, big lips, right? You want to call somebody like that a monkey, right? She knows because of her proximity to Black American culture, Black hip hop culture, etc., etc., etc. I don't know how to put it. I don't know the right word for what she did. But also, I'm going to say putting out a very well written publicist written statement 3 weeks after the incident to apologize after you done got suspended from Love and Hip Hop, removed from the all deaf digital platform show that you was on. Now you want to put out the generic statement. I don't believe that. I don't believe you apologize for a second. I believe you calling Safari her ex-husband baby daddy to the last two children. I believe you calling him all kind of monkeys and niggas. And I don't think you're going to stop. Because you're not. Because it's ingrained in your culture. Just like my coworker friend is not gonna stop using the word nigga. It's too ingrained in his culture. It's too ingrained in his vocabulary. It's not gonna stop. She's not gonna stop either. She'll stop on camera, but in her everyday chill out life, she's not stopping. I think what she should have did was put out an apology to her fan base for offending them. I believe she should have put out the funky Dineva apology when he apologized to Chloe Bailey and everybody he offended by saying the things he said, but he didn't take it back. And I think she should have did that. I don't think she should say, I'll never do it again. That's a lie. Just say you apologize for the words that was said that offended people. And that's it. And I would have accepted that. She should have did that right away because she's not dumb. She knows what the fuck was going on the internet and how it made her fan base feel. But also, I'm not giving Spice a pass. I still think you went low. And if Erica didn't call you a monkey, people be tearing into you right now based on what you said to her about her kid. Just even bringing up her kid. So you're only getting a pass now because what Erica did was like way worse. What she said to you was way worse. But I also want to say this. Erica is an employee. And I said it before. I don't remember if I said it before because after I do these videos, everything deletes in my head. Her company threw her all the way under the bus because they didn't have to air that. They do 4 hours of filming, 5 hours of filming, sometimes days worth of filming for a 45-minute show because 15 minutes of it is commercial. So they only need 45 minutes of content and they have hours and hours of footage. They chop and screw that shit all the time, but they chose to leave that in there. They chose to leave that in there. And that stuff is filmed weeks, if not months before it comes out. And they let it air. And now they're doing something because the public has something to say about it. There's black people. Well, I don't know if there's black people in the Love and Hip Hop franchise, but Mona Scott Young is black. She let that shit fly. Erica, they threw you all the way under the bus. They did. And All Black Digital taking her off of that show. Child, what was she doing on All Black anyway? She ain't black. But I don't want her to see her out of work. She's good TV. She's salacious. She knows what she says. She's beautiful. People forget shit all the time. She'll be back on Love and Hip Hop or some kind of franchise.